it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Sunday night, June the 1st. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hope you had a good weekend. I had an amazing weekend, and I'll get to that in a second, or at least I'll get into what I can talk about in a second. But first, let's get going by always doing our usual early show intros. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thank you for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you and how much I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos. You can like the video, like the fact that the Abbotsford Canucks are up 2-0. Like the fact that the Stanley Cup finals start on Wednesday night. I don't know why so big of a gap. Like the fact that I got home from Whistler safely. Like the fact that we continue to build an amazing Canucks community here on YouTube. By the way, Wednesday night, we had an amazing night, I think, when it came to donations from this group. And then Thursday night, we had a wonderful members live stream open house where we got to hear from almost a dozen members of our member community. So things are going well on the channel, all in large part to you. You can leave a donation, get the donation. No, the donation train is out of the station thanks to Swervin Yrvin. I like how Swervin Yrvin actually leaves donations even before I even press go live. I'll get to that in a second. You can gift a membership, which I'm going to do first Sunday of the month. So I'm going to get 5 memberships tonight during my mid-show sponsor read. You can also, just want to make sure I have it on. Yeah, I do. Okay, good. I'll do that in a little bit. You can also buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. And if we hit all 5, someone leaving a donation, someone gifting a membership, someone buying their own membership, someone upgrading their own membership, and someone using their monthly membership message, that is the high 5, and it will trigger a giveaway for an upcoming stream. So really quickly, Robbie, it's 1st to 4, not to 2, of course. I should say the days I'm available and the ones you're available, so we can find it. Yes, Robbie, I want to get this dinner done. Not get it done. It sounds like I'm trying to get it over with. No, let's meet up sometime in June. And same goes for you, Tyler, TLC. Want to arrange a dinner with you as well. Okay, let's get going. We start off by recognizing Swervin Yrvin did this at 7 p.m. So 4 hours before the stream even started. But 4 hours before or 4 minutes into, they all count for the same. So let's get some love to legendary Swervin Yrvin. Swervin Yrvin, thank you for the $1 donation. Gets the donation train out of the station. And for those of you keeping track at home, Swervin Yrvin is leading the community leaderboard tonight with 200 points, followed by Coach Rob, and then Line Change, Fangirl, and Taylor at 75, and then a bunch of you with 50. Again, I don't know how they come up with these points. I think it's kind of cool, but again, I have nothing to do with it, and I don't understand it. But hey, if it's yet another thing that for us to keep track of on the stream, so be it. But thank you, Yrvin, for getting the donation train out of the station. Okay, I had a good weekend. Was in Whistler with the family, and I hinted on Thursday night, I think at the end of the members live stream, that I was gonna hopefully be able to share some good news. I will be able to share that good news, but just not tonight. So to start off this tonight's stream, before we talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, before we talk about the Abbotsford Canucks, and before we talk about the goaltending for the Vancouver Canucks, which is kind of inspired by how well Artur Shilov's been playing, I'm going to ask you real quick, real quick. I'm going to do this for 3 minutes. What do you think happened this weekend in Whistler? What do you think is going to be the good news that I want to share, even though I'm not going to give any hints? I'm not going to affirm whether you're right or wrong. So you can be as silly, you can be as serious, you can put your Nostradamus prediction hat on, or you can try and be as sarcastic as you want. But, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you sprained your ankle, Jessica, but you can put it in the chat, and then I will highlight your answers, but I will not give any hint as to whether or not you were correct. So we were in Whistler this weekend and something cool happened. So what are we at so far? Fangirl says the engagement of Sean and Francesca. Japan 4 says, congratulations, Sean. Coach Rob says, got a gig with Sportsnet. Who, me or you? Or maybe we're together, Coach Rob. Shannon says Sean got engaged. So a few of you already talking about Sean. I cannot confirm nor deny, at least not yet. Yeah, and Jessica, I am sorry that you sprained your ankle at the beach and that you're on crutches. Darn it. Well, hopefully tonight we will be able to cheer you up a little bit. You fell down that hill around. I'm so sorry to hear, Jessica. I am very sorry to hear. Hopefully we can make you smile still tonight. So line change says maybe you ran into somebody famous. Okay. So far the guesses are basically Sean and Francesca got engaged, or I ran into somebody famous. Anyone else? Clay is joining the official Canucks media in some capacity. I like that, Yrvin. Oh, sorry. I promised I wouldn't give any commentary to hint that whether something is true or not. So no, that takes skill that you didn't even drop your ice cream, because obviously your priorities. Who cares about your ankle as long as you save your ice cream? What flavor were you eating, by the way, Jessica? What flavor were you eating? Any other guesses? Some decent ones so far. Not a lot of variety, but some decent ones. But that's all we got? Okay. If that's all we got, that's all we got, and we can move on. I'll give you guys 30 more seconds to guess. Embargo. Exactly. We have embargo, signed a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, all of those things. Anything else? Oh, Tyler, I like this one. I got invited to a pro bowling team. That could very well be true. Clay, it was funny because I fell downhill, right? And a lady helped me up and both my knees were bleeding, but my ice cream was fine. Oh, well, I hope you didn't have like blood flavored ice cream. Yrvin, Clay has a new intro, and this one from Quinn Hughes. I like that as well. Okay, so we got some good guesses. I won't say if any of them were actually correct, but I appreciate the creativity and the thought that you put into those guesses, and you'll see. Okay, here's a late one. Clay announcing that he's coming over to Germany. Not soon, but I met someone from Germany on the weekend, but I'll talk about that when I'm allowed to talk about the entire weekend. And might be going to Europe in October, but it won't be to Germany. But got to wait for that to be confirmed as well. Grandchildren, hopefully not soon. But thank you for the guess, Swervin Yrvin, as well. No, I said that I wouldn't comment on any, so I probably shouldn't have said that. But thank you for trying. Okay, so hopefully I can share about that news relatively soon, but I have to make sure that it's okay to do so, and I get the A-OK from all parties involved. That's such a high school thing, like a cliffhanger. But that's the way it's going to go for right now. Clay is becoming the 6th Backstreet Boy at the Sphere in Vegas. Excellent guess, Justin. Of course, if I joined the group, they would not be the Backstreet Boys anymore. They'd be the Over the Hill Men, or the Stevenson Highway Men, maybe instead of the Backstreet Boys, the Stevenson Highway Men. But that could be possible as well. Okay, my show. Well, I'll give you a hint. My shows this week are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and no, sorry, Tuesday and Wednesday. Shannon, whose birthday is on Thursday, I won't do a show on Thursday, so Shannon knows that I'm going to try, as long as she's cool with it, I'm going to bring her on the show on Wednesday nights as a Hall of Fame member for her birthday. So Shannon, I will talk to you about that. I like this one though too. Clay is going to be a speaker at an invite for Pope Leo's first Canadian visit. Again, I cannot confirm nor deny that that might be true. And yes, I think I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm close to some of their ages for sure. The final starts on Wednesday night. It's a big gap. It's basically a week between games. So on Tuesday night show, I will preview the final and I'll get your predictions, and we'll do our voting one more time as a community. But that'll be on Tuesday night show. Tonight, I want to talk about the Abbotsford Canucks just for a little bit, and then more importantly, talk about the goaltending, because it's something that I've been thinking about for sure. Like, legally, you could be you could be a grandfather. 36 and 38 exactly. No, we haven't heard anything about Canadian visits yet, and I want it that Clay. Very good, Yrvin. I like that. I like that a lot. Abbotsford Canucks, they're up 2-0 in their Western Conference final against the Texas Stars. 2-0, which is pretty cool. They won 3-2, and then they won 1-0 last night. We saw footage of Cole Lind, ex-Canuck, by the way, trying to not run Shelovs, just kind of nudge him after the game, say hello, say congratulations. And then Sass and other guys jumped on him, which was good. So a little bit of feeling to end the game 2. I wish I could have gone, but I was in Whistler, so I could not go to game 2. And then even for game 1, I was somewhere on Thursday night. I think Thursday night was game 1, right? And game 2 was on Saturday night. So now they head over to Texas for the next 3 games. I like this. Tell us why. Very good. I should just do a whole stream of you guys do Backstreet Boys lyrics. Clay is going to be the Canucks pilot on the Canucks airplane. Also a very good guess. So Artur Shelovs has been awesome this playoff. He is, how many shutouts does he have already? He has 5 shutouts in this playoff. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm looking at something that says, I can just show you on the screen because it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Let me see if I can get this up here. Here. Check this out. Is that right? Look at these stats, and this is kind of going to lead into my discussion tonight. This is playoffs. So let's look at the entire playoffs, by the way. Linus Karlsson has 13 points in 14 games. Sammy Blais, Archie Baines, Phil DiGiuseppe. So all games. And remember, we talked about a lot of these guys. Actually, we didn't talk about Sammy. I kind of want Sammy Blais to get a shot with the Vancouver Canucks. Is a bit of a long shot, though, right? Because we all talked about Karlsson. We talked about Lekaramaki. And we talked about Sasson as guys that would probably get a look ahead of Sammy Blais. But let's look at these goaltenders. This is pretty crazy. And line change is saying the record is 6 shutouts in the AHL playoffs, which is pretty cool. So Topio played once, and he lost, but he let in 2 goals. But look at this. Shelovs, 14 games, only 22 goals against in those 14 games. So his goals against is 1.61. His save percentage is 941. He's 10-3, and he's got 5 shutouts. That is amazing stuff. That is amazing stuff. So keep that in mind. Shelovs, obviously, they're going to ride him. He is the man of the playoffs for sure. Then we have here. Check this out. This is the stats for Abbotsford Canucks during the regular season. We have Artur Shelovs. It was Tolopilo who actually played more games. he played 36 games because remember, Shelovs was up with Vancouver for the first half of the season when Demko was hurt. So Tolopilo played 36. Shelovs played 21. Ty Young played 11. Yuri Patera, remember him? He played 7 minutes. 7 minutes, sorry. It feels like he played 7 games. So Tolopilo went 20, 14, and 12, 902. 266, 902. Shelovs went 14, 5, and 1, so a better winning percentage. Similar stats, 241, better goals against, and 908. Ty Young went 8 and 3, which is pretty good, 272, 904. And Yuri Patera went 2, 2, and 1, 279, and 899. So the save percentage, the top 3 were 908, 904, 902, and then 899, so relatively close. Goals against average, it was Shelovs 241, Tolopilo 266. Tolopilo had more wins, but he also played in 15 more games. So I want you guys to keep this in mind as we talk about the Canucks goaltenders. And I want to bring up one more screen if I have it here. I want to see if this works. I moved my screens here because I think I figured out why things were lagging. So let's see if I can do this real quick and then we can keep going here. One more time. Share screen. Does this work? Okay, I think it will. Okay, I'll get that up in a second. So let's talk about these Canucks goaltenders. And I will talk for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Then I'll do my mid-show sponsor read. And then I want you guys to give me your reflections on the Canucks goaltending. What's going to happen not only this upcoming season, but going forward. So TLC makes a good point. We have strong. We also have the goalie signing we made earlier this season. Forget his name. Who's that? The goalie signing we made earlier this season. I can't think of a guy that we signed earlier this season. But the whole point is, we were talking about that we have good depth in the Canucks organization. So I want to talk about the goaltenders that we have under contract, and then what you guys think might be the plan going forward. So remember, think of this. We're going to have this discussion. We're going to kind of wrap up both in the same discussion. Short term, what happens this upcoming season, and then long term, what's going to happen after this season. So let us start with the obvious one of Thatcher Demko. So he's 29 years old. Remember, 4 seasons ago, he signed that amazing contract, 5 years times 5. So believe it or not, he's entering his final season. So $5 million per season through 2025, 2026. So he's entering his last season. That means as of July 1st, in 1 month from today, we can start negotiating an extension with Thatcher Demko. Now, he was a Vezina finalist a couple of years ago, riddled with injury last season that he suffered in the playoffs at the end of the season prior. And there's some concerns about his health, but there are no concerns about his work ethic, how good he is when he's healthy, and how good of a teammate he is. And he can be a top 5 goaltender in the world. But will the Canucks value him? Will the Canucks, are they scared off about his injury history? I know that I would sign him. I would sign him and for an extension, but what's he going to want? Is he going to want 7 or 8 years? Do we want to give him 7, 8 years as a 30-year-old by the time that contract kicks in? Will he take a 4 or 5 year? Rick Dollywell reported that the Canucks may have offered him a 3 year. So a lot of things that we can talk about for sure. But he's the best goaltender we have right now. And I think once July 1 passes and Pettersson's no trade kicks in, I think this story, along with Brock Besser, those are going to be the 2 biggest stories of the off season, along with, of course, who we're going to get. But what are the Canucks going to do with Thatcher Demko? What are we, what is the Canucks plan for him? Are they going to try and extend him starting on July 1st? So he is our number 1 goaltender right now. And that, of course, is Thatcher Demko. Right behind him is Kevin Lankinen, who's 1 year older than Demko. Lankinen's 30, and he just signed a brand new 4-year contract right? 26, 27, 28, 29. Yes. 4-year contract, $18 million. So $4.5 million a season through 2028, 2029. Kevin Lankinen had his best season of his career. Him and Kiefer Sherwood were probably the two nice surprises for the Vancouver Canucks. And as soon as they signed this extension earlier this season, it really added a lot of intrigue to what the Canucks are going to do with Thatcher Demko, because you either go one of two ways right now. You keep both guys for another season, and this is notwithstanding an extension, whatever. I'm looking at next season right now for this discussion. And you have a great 1A, 1B tandem. We saw that Lankinen, when rested, and as long as you manage his minutes, he can play at a starter's level for sure. And then you have not the best, but one of the best tandems in the league if you have both of these guys. And you have them for $9.5 million total, right? $5 million for Demko, $4.5 to Lankinen. And you might say, that's just fine. I will gladly spend $9.5 million, not even 10% of the salary cap, or I guess about 10% of the salary cap, on goaltending. And you might say that's fine and that's worth it. Or you might say that, no, that's too much. And if you don't anticipate being able to sign Thatcher Demko to extension, trade him. Even if it's closer to the trade deadline, depending on where the Canucks are battling in the standings, trade him and get something good for him now. Now, the market for goaltenders is usually the worst of the three positions, forwards and defensemen, and then goaltenders. So you rarely get enough in a goaltender trade. Or maybe do you risk not extending him and maybe what's going to happen to Besser and Suter and guys like that, and risk losing him for nothing? So I'm talking about Demko, of course. But with Lankinen, he earned this contract. Some people are still worried that might be a little bit too long, right? He's going to be 35 by the time this contract ends. $4.5 million. That's not too big of a cap hit, especially if he's a starter. But if he's the backup, it's getting up there. But still, maybe you want to invest in goaltending. So obviously, Kevin Lankinen's new extension, his new contract, that is going to play a part. We don't know how big of a part it will play, but it'll certainly play a part in how the Canucks move forward with Thatcher Demko. To Demko's credit, he said all the good things about Lankinen, said he earned it, he deserves it, and he likes working with them. So, Demko, Lankinen, you keep them both at 9.5 for this season. Do you think that's an acceptable percentage of your cap? Save your thoughts you can type them in now, but I won't look at them until after the mid-show sponsor read. And then we go to the next 5 guys. So let's start with Arturs Shilovs. He is doing awesome in Abbotsford right now. And as I showed some of his playoff stats, he's been phenomenal, actually. He's been phenomenal with the 5 shutouts in the 14 games. Now, Shilovs was drafted late, the second to last round, in the 6th round in the 2019 draft. So he's 24 years old. He makes $850,000 for 1 more year this upcoming season. And then he's a restricted free agent, not a UFA. So he's a restricted free agent at the very end. So the Canucks really don't have to worry about losing him. So, I think there were hopes, especially after last year's playoff run, that maybe he would be a serviceable backup to Demko. But when Demko did not recover from his injury that well over the summer, the Canucks probably were not very comfortable going with a Shilovs and Patera combination, or Shilovs Tolopil. So that's why they signed Lankinen in September. And then you started the season with a Lankinen Shilovs combination until Thatcher Demko got healthy. So Shilovs did play 10 games with the Vancouver Canucks. Not great. 2-6-1, 861 save percentage, 365 goals against average. Not great at all. And then for Abbotsford, as I showed you, he played in those 21 games. He would have played more, but he was up with the big club. And then he's been a star in the playoffs. So my question to you, simply with Arturs Shilovs, is and I spelled his name wrong. I put Arturs Silvos. Who's that? We did not get a new goalie named Arturs Silvos. There, that's better. Arturs Shilovs. So my question to you basically is, has he earned your confidence? Has he regained your confidence? Maybe maybe you never ever lost confidence in him, but obviously having a great playoff, and maybe he's a starter in one more year. Does his play give you confidence that if they cannot sign Thatcher Demko, extend him, are you fine with the Lankinen and Shelov's combo going forward after next season? So think about that for Archer Shelovs. Then we have Aku Koskinvuo. Yes, I remember this guy when we drafted him way back in 2021. So Shelovs was drafted in 2019. Then Koskinvuo was drafted in 2021. Drafted in the 5th round. And he has played, since we drafted him, he has played 3 seasons in Harvard. His numbers not bad last season, 902, 281. He's 8-9-1. This is a big, like Demko, like Shelovs, unlike Lankinen. He's big. He's 6'4". Maybe not that heavy, 173, but he at least got that tall, rangy, build that most goaltenders do have. So I think this is the one that there's 2 guys that I think we know less about, and he is signed for 2 more seasons at only $850,000. So I don't know. Did he graduate from Harvard? So I don't know if they bring him up to Abbotsford this season. He was the one guy that did not get a look, right? Tolopil, Shelovs, Young, and Patera all got time in Abbotsford. Koskinvuo didn't. So Koskinvuo, we'll see where he ends up this season. So I think he's one of the, he's definitely number 6 or number 7 on the depth chart, but I didn't want to forget about him. And he is signed for 2 more years for the Vancouver Canucks. Then we have Ty Young, who's only 20 years old, also signed for 2 more seasons at $825,000. He was then drafted the year after Koskinvuo. He was drafted in the 5th round as well in 2022. And he split his season between Abbotsford, playing those 11 games, and with the ECHL Kalamazoo Wings. And he went 10-9-2, so basically 500. 926 save percentage is pretty good. 253 goals against average. So only 20 years old. Good size again, 6'3", 181. So I'm really curious to see where he fits in. So both him and Koskinvuo have 2-year contracts, basically making the same amount, ending in 2026, 2027. So might he be an option? And maybe he'll get more games in Abbotsford this season. We will see. He was there basically when Shelovs wasn't. So there's Ty Young. Then there's Yuri Patera. Remember this guy? We signed him on July 1, 2024. Then we put him through waivers. We lost him to someone, and then we reclaimed him on waivers. I know it's a little bit confusing, but I don't know if you guys remember that. But he was drafted by Vegas, 6th round, 2017. So he's a little bit older. He's 26 years old, but he's only in a contract for 1 more year for $775,000, and then he becomes a UFA. So I simply don't see him. This is the one guy I say that they're going to let go because he's already 26, and he's no better than the other guys that we have. And in Abbotsford, he had the worst numbers out of everyone there. So I think Yuri Patera is probably the one guy that probably doesn't figure in the Canucks plans. And then finally, we have Nikita Tolopil. He had the most games in Abbotsford with 36 during the regular season. Undrafted, we signed him in March of 2023, so 2.5 years ago. And he is an RFA on July 1st. So the Canucks can make him an offer. I think they probably will because he did play. He had some really good minutes. And I think, with Shelovs and Tolopil, you have a pretty good tandem down there in Abbotsford. And Tolopil did play 1 playoff game this season. So there you go, Canucks fans. We have 7 goaltenders to keep in mind. Demko's under contract for 1 more year. Kevin Lankinen's entering year 1 of a 4-year contract. Then we have Shelovs, who's an RFA after next season. Then we have Young and Koskinvuo, who are RFAs after 2 seasons. We have Yuri Patera, who's a UFA after next season, the oldest of the group. And then we have Nikita Tolopil, who's an RFA as of July the 1st. So I offer all of those names to you. And after my Mitchell sponsor read, I'd love to hear what you guys think about these goaltenders. And I would love to hear what your plan is. Like, who are your favorites? And give me a bold take about Demko extending or not, trading him. Let me know what your thoughts are on Shilovs and Tolopilo. And do you have any thoughts on Koskanvuo or Young? And even a fleeting thought on Yuri Patera. But we do all of that after my mid-show sponsor read. And I start off by thanking my primary sponsor. That's Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the Greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks of your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. I appreciate you. Don't forget my shows. No, I'll do my shows in a second. Other ways that you get involved tonight: subscribe, like the video. You can leave a donation like Swervin Yrvin has done. You can gift a membership. Oh, I'm going to do that in a second. You can buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. If you're listening on podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And my shows this week, just in case you were asking, because I just know how curious you are. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but Parker and I have connected throughout the week. And the plan is to do our first Canucks After Dark in like 5 or 6 weeks tomorrow night. So look for Canucks After Dark at 10 p.m. Then I will do shows Tuesday night and Wednesday night of this week. No members live stream, so they're open to everyone. Tuesday night, hopefully I can share the news that I want to share. Wednesday night, we'll bring on Shannon. So Tuesday night will be hopefully some news and a Stanley Cup Finals preview. Wednesday night will be a review of Game 1 and bring on Shannon for her birthday, which is on Thursday the 5th. And by the way, if you're part of my confidence pool, I sent out an update. It is crazy. We could have a 3-way tie for first, depending on what happens. So that's pretty exciting. And that's why we built in tiebreakers into the scoring system. All right, friends, let me give away 5 memberships, and then I'll get to all of your comments. Here we go. 5 brand new franchise memberships, courtesy of this guy. Here we go. Let's give some love in the chat to Canuck Clay for gifting 5 memberships. They go to Ryan, Calvin, Tristan, Splat Art, and Unrealized Nostalgia. Some very, very creative names in there. But welcome to all of you. Welcome to franchise membership. And yeah, sure, Swervin, that can count. So now we have a donation and we have membership gifts. So we have 2 of the high 5 fulfilled. Welcome all of you to franchise membership. It was my honor to gift those memberships to you completely at random. But I'm glad that a lot of you guys some of you are returnees as well. So that's pretty cool. All right, friends, let's go for 15 to 20 minutes. Starting now. Put in your comments about the Canucks goaltending situation. It can be a Demko, Lankinen, Shilovs, whatever you want. I will, as long as let's focus on the goaltending for sure. And welcome Gerald all the way from Austin, Texas. That is pretty cool. I say extend Demko, but only if his injury issues become a non-issue. I mean, his injury was so rare. I don't think extension for Demko comes July 1st. So see how the season starts. Okay, so I have time for that, Fangirl. So you're saying don't extend him on July 1st. Let's see if he can get through training camp and the start of the season unscathed. And that's fine, as long as you're realistic with Thatcher and you say to him and his people, we're going to wait. We're not going to negotiate just yet. Harry says, hi, Clay. How are you? Thank you. I'm good. Hope you're well as well. I like Lanky, Shilovs, Young, and Tolopilo for our future goalies. If Demko was more healthy, he would be unstoppable. Do you think it'll be Demko and Lanky next? Yes, I did say I do think that the Canucks will run with that tandem as they do everything they can to make it back to the playoffs. Yeah, he can go to Abbey game. Is this Clay the sheep or Clay the goat? The next time the Vancouver Canucks become a Final Four team, it shouldn't be because goaltending. It should be because the team in front of them, the offense, defense, and penalty kill. Yeah, Robbie, I hear what you're saying. I would respectfully say it's got to be all of them, right? It's got to be all those things together, and you're not going to progress, I think, without good goaltending. But I hear you. I hear you. Coach Rob, why would Sean and his fiance set a date yet if he's not engaged yet? Actually, it's kind of funny. Whether or not they are engaged yet, they've already been meeting with the parish priest, and let's just say I poked around. I poked around some dates at the parish for a potential wedding in the next couple of years, but he's got to propose first. Hey, Japan 4. Hey, Clay, with Sheila's playing lights out, should we trade him? That's a really good point. Is he building a, especially if they sign Demko to an extension, it kind of blocks She Loves' development for a little bit. Now, admittedly, Japan 4, even though She Loves is playing great, which he is, and I like him, as I kind of mentioned earlier, the market for goaltenders isn't always that great. So, but I thank you for bringing that up. I never thought about that possibility, actually, or at least I didn't consider it a serious possibility. I just don't know what you're going to get for an unproven NHL goalie, even if he is indeed, like you said, playing lights out in the AHL playoffs. Great point. Goaltending don't mean a thing if I don't get that ring. That's my motto in life. The Canucks need to sign Demko to keep him away from other teams. Can you imagine Edmonton or Toronto with Demko? No. Zao, I cannot imagine either of those teams with Thatcher Demko, although Stuart Skinner is playing lights out right now too. Robbie, I would put Demko on the block, but be open to negotiate in the trade deadline. Okay, so kind of see what feelers are out there. That's fine. Oh, you'll be on again on Wednesday for the Abbey game. Nice. The only chance we have to get Demko at an affordable cap is trying to extend him on July 1st. If he bounces back, he would outprice. Oh, so you're saying you would get the extension done before the season even starts, so there's no chance the price goes up. Yeah, that's fair. Tyler says since Demko got hurt a lot, let him walk. Oh, Gerald, are you going to the game? Are you going to the game on the 3rd? That is awesome. I'd sign him long-term July 1st. If he's injured, just put him on LTIR. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Harry, I'm not sure if it's about when She Loves is ready to join the team. It's going to be more, excuse me, is there going to be a spot? Is there going to be a spot on the team? Because this season, obviously, going to be Demko and Lankinen, and then if they extend Demko, unless they trade Lankinen, then his I guess his path to the big club is kind of blocked, right? So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to track for sure. For sure. You have to wait until the end of the season to see how Demko holds up and then trade Lankinen. So there's another thought. So Japan 4, you're suggesting if Demko has a good season, if he's healthy, extend him and then trade Lankinen? Yeah, that is fair. By the way, my lagging issue should probably be better now because my back end, the YouTube stream just crashed and then it reset. So maybe things will be good going forward. He's the cheapest he'll ever be right now. You're talking about Demko? That's true. Hey, Steven, one thing to remember regarding She Loves is that goalies generally break in the NHL later than forwards and defensemen. I think it's okay if She Loves spends 1 or 2 more seasons. Yeah, that's a great argument, or that's a great this thought is there's no rush. There's no rush. Definitely keep liking She Loves and see how Ty does. If they're going to trade Demko, it won't be until the deadline. Teams are going to want to see how healthy he is during the season. Totally fair. Yeah, you don't want to trade for damaged goods, so to speak. If Colorado can win with Darcy Kemper, I say elite defensemen hold more weight. Okay. That's fair. Package Lankinen. Okay. If the Canucks can pull a cap steal like last year during the draft would be amazing. A project like PLD would be a huge win. But which goalie? Gotcha. Good question. Yeah, Jessica's not the fastest move around right now. Shilovs would be just an add-on in a big trade package. Shilovs and a first for a 1C and a 2C. Yeah, I don't think that's going to get you a 1C Japan 4. It might get you a 2C depending on the first. I heard that they were talking about that on Daily Faceoff, the Canucks goaltender. Oh, okay, I did not know that. That's cool. If we can get a good 2C, then trade a goalie, and that might have to be Demko. I hope Demko can have a good start. That's way better than this past season. He just needs to show he can play healthy. Canucks logic doesn't dictate that we win on reclamation projects. Quite the opposite. Could you see a trade for Tippett plus Noah Cates for Demko and Garland? Chris, I have not thought about that. Admittedly, I have not thought about that possibility. Not a fan of Tippett. Intrigued by Cates. All three goalies need to clear waivers. You mean if we have them up here? Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. I believe that Koskenvuo is waivers exempt and Tai Young. But yeah, I guess what you're saying is Shilovs, Patera, and Tolopil are all have to clear waivers. That's a good point. That's a good point. Demko is injury prone for sure, but he will never be cheaper if you sign him long term. I say go long term because the cap going up will be able to hide the contract if he's injured. Yeah, yes, but you just don't want to waste valuable cap space on a guy who gets hurt a lot if you think that that's still going to happen. To me, it's like you can't win without a goaltender between 900 to 915 save percent. Well, that's a big range, admittedly, 900 to 915. That says more about the overall construction of the roster. Longer to 914 save percentage. Yeah, 914. Anything over 910 is really good. Could we see the Canucks trade one of the young goalies for a player? No, I don't, because you're not going to get anything for any of the goalies except Lankinen or Demko. Even Shilovs, I don't think you get a lot for him just yet because he hasn't proven himself at the NHL level. And as many of you correctly pointed out, he might be an add-in actually to help you beef up a trade as opposed to being the feature place. I just can't see him getting good value in a trade because goalie trades. Yes, I agree with you, Jack. That's what I was saying is the goalie market is never good during trades. Hey, Michael, if the Canucks want to use Shilovs this year, they can't have him going back and forth to Abbotsford because some other team would. Yes, exactly. Actually, Coach Rob brought that up about the waivers. So once you bring Shilovs up, he's here to stay because he is not waivers exempt. Since we have Foote as the head coach, who would be a great assistant, defensive and offensive? I don't know. I like Mike Yeo. We'll see. Maybe the Sedins would be good offensive coaches, although I don't think they want to move them up from Abbotsford. I got to think about this one, Tyler. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they promote from within or if they go after some of these guys that are being rumored to be after head coach jobs like Mitch Love and guys like that. Marchessault is a best replacement. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Marchessault fan. I know he's good. I know he plays with a bit of an edge, but how old is he? He must be in his early 30s now, right? Guys, this is your sign not to laugh so much, or you will end up like me falling downhill and ending up with... Wait a sec. Are you suggesting that you sprain your ankle because you're laughing, Jessica? Have a good night, Gerald. Have fun in Texas. How long can the Canucks afford to keep him as a number one if he's injured so often? And I think that's the $5 million, $8 million, $7 million question, Burned. I laughed after I fell too. Yeah, she said crutches in like the very first message, Taylor. At least Foote knows Demko's injury issue. The Canucks hired Malhotra. He doesn't have a lot of knowledge of the issue as he was dealing with Abbotsford. Yes, fangirl, but he would be brought up to speed for sure. The strategy for Shilovs is clear. Keep him on the AHL until the spring and then call him up and ride him through the playoffs. What? He'll be our goaltender for the playoffs, Yrvin? Hey, Jared. Nice to see you. Crutches for a week. Finger and leg with Foote. Trade Demko for Jake Wallstead. He's a rookie goaltender. Give him the chance he can feel the shoes of Demko. That's a bad trade right now. We just don't know how Jake Wallstead's going to be. If the Canucks extend Demko or Lankinen, which goalie will be very caught? No, Lankinen's already extended, Harry. That's what they did earlier this year. So Lankinen's, we already know. You might have missed it. I talked about it. He's 4 times 4.5. What's a fair contract for Besser? There's some analytics places that are saying $8 million a season. I think that's a little rich for me. I know the cap's going up. I try to keep him under 8 if you can. Marchessault is 35. Yeah, that's too old for me. I think Sheila was okay in the Oilers series. Just the offense wasn't good enough. I understand save percentage was 898, but Canucks only got 17 shots. No, that's fair, but he didn't help. He was okay. He was okay. I can't. He didn't hurt the team, but he wasn't a difference maker. Which UFA would I take? If I had to pick one, I like Nick Ehlers, and then I like Jack Roslovich. Those are the two guys that I like. Sign Demko $6 million, 7 years. Yeah, I don't think he signs for that, Jack. I think he wants more than that. Year 3 or 4 will look like chump change. Exactly. So he knows that too. That's why I think he wants more. We're not getting Besser back. Odds are slim to none. Sounds like he wants to move on. Felt disrespected. Yeah, it didn't help when they kind of threw him under the bus during the trade deadline. Oh, you're laughing and didn't see where I was going. Yeah. Did you hear, by the way, speaking of not seeing things, this is a bonus bad joke for you. I think I used it already, but did you hear about the guy who is visually impaired who fell down a well? Yes, he did not see that well. Thank you. If only there's a elite game-breaking center who could score in that game. What do you think? Well, Canucks will announce the 2 assistant coaches over the next 2 weeks, I think. Do I think Sheila will start next season for any games? Maybe 5 or fewer. Because if Lankinen or Demko get injured on, for more than 10 games, you're going to have Shilovs out and he's got to play at least a couple. I don't think Besser's going to be staying with us. Very good. He couldn't see that well. Would I take Mitch or Granlund? I think Mitch is going to be too much. Granlund, I think we can do better. They're okay. No, they're good players, obviously. Shilovs will be fine. People have to remember his starts this season weren't good, but that defense was horrible. Good point. Can any franchise risk term on Demko at this point? Canucks have the inside information. That's true. Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to take a wait-and-see attitude for sure. They're probably going to hope that Demko gets to free agency on July 1st. I don't think he can get it with his injury history. It's the reason I want to extend. Okay, so get him now. Well, yeah, before his price goes up. If you were to resign Demko, would a 6 times 7.5 be enticing for him? I think that's a little bit better. I don't know if he wants 8 or more. I don't know if he deserves 8 or more. Markstrom got traded for a 2025 first and the 55th in the 2018. Kevin Ball, Markstrom has 1 year left on his contract. Oh, okay. So they got a first and Kevin Ball. All right. So basically a first rounder and a second rounder. That's worse than me. The guy who can see that well. Do you think any of the current Canucks goalies will become as good as Demko? Or nope. I don't think any of the Canucks current ones will be as good as Demko and therefore not as good as Luongo. What's your take on the things Lyndon said during that Donnie and Dolly interview, specifically how he's never seen a P.D. Miller situation before and how P.D. needs to step up and use his Sedins? Regarding P.D. Miller, I do think that it was very unique. So I would believe Lyndon if he says he's never seen anything like that, and how PD needs to step up and use the Sedins. Yeah, it's been reported by a few people that the Sedins and PD don't get along, mostly because of PD. Yeah, he's got 2 of the best offensive players, well, at least in Canucks history for sure. He's got whatever issue there is, if there is an issue, he's got to swallow that pride and utilize them for sure. If Besser isn't returning, I want Nick Ehlers to fill in the spot, and maybe they have hope that Lekharmaki steps up. Hey, Mark, you've been following the confidence pool. You're still leading, but you might not win. It depends what happens. It's so exciting. Hopefully you got the email and you went through all my combinations and permutations. And Mark has a question. How is he doing blocking point shot? I think he's doing pretty good. He's only let in 22 goals in 14 games. Wait, who are you talking to, Jessica? Me or someone else? Yeah, I was surprised, but Japan 4, I know people love our truth because of how he makes everyone better and he's funny. They like Carlito's character, but I never get too upset about releases, even Braun Strowman recently, because they're a business as well and they can't keep everyone. And if they don't have creative plans, whether that's creative's fault or whatever, you just simply can't keep everyone on the roster while you elevate new talent. So I don't, it's too bad, but I don't get too upset about those kind of things, to be honest with you. Yep. We had to pick one before the expansion draft and we picked Demko. Yep. I agree. Time flies, especially when you're having fun. If Demko didn't have his injury, he'd be looking at a Hellebuck Ottinger type deal for sure. For sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Ottinger in Dallas after Pete DeBoer. Canucks 14 to 21 shots on net. I agree with you, Robbie. I hear what you're saying. Sad days for an old school. How many team records does Longo have? Yeah, someone will have to look that up. Clay, if that Canucks approached you and said they needed a slogan, what would it be? It would be good things come to those who wait. No, that's a bad slogan. It would be, so there was embrace the hard. It was put up or shut up. That's my slogan. I don't know what my slogan would be. GLCPC there with the thumbs up. I do not know enough about the draft just yet, Simon. I don't know who's going to be good where the Canucks pick. Sorry, but I'll know a bit more before the draft, but maybe not actually. Talking said there's no bad guy. I bet there's no good guy. Yeah, and just a messy situation overall. I can't believe they let it get to where it got to. 54 years old. Yeah, that's true. No, next year, if the Canucks want to make the playoffs, I think they go Demko Lankinen for this season. Little Jimmy, very good. Rosters are too big. 60, is that from the hardcore 24/7? Yes. It's interesting you mentioned lemonade because I am drinking pink lemonade right now. Well, he's not just a booker. He's also the CEO, so he's got the final say, Tyler. We should resign Demko because he can take a discount. He's also cheaper when even though injured, he's great when he's healthy. Yeah, that's what makes this contract situation quite fascinating. Demko reminds me a lot of Kari Lehtinen, a lot of injury in the early stages of his career, but played very well when healthy. Yeah, I think he's better than Lehtinen, but I hear what you're saying. The plan R2 that little Jimmy action figure, the box would be empty. That's pretty funny, actually. I don't think the Petey and the Twins is as big a deal as some are making out to be. I hope you're right, Ryan. I hope you're right. Matthew Nyes, is he UFA or RFA? I think, whereas Brad Treliving didn't commit to re-signing Marner or Tavares, he did talk about Matthew Nyes, so I don't think he'll be available. What's ironic? What happened? What happened? Longo holds 6 records. Okay. Hardcore 24/7. Yeah. I-95. Oh, Nyes is an RFA. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Toronto will re-sign him for sure. The confidence pool, it's so tight, right? Because if you're in it, right, Michael? Yeah, there's so many different things depending on who wins and who the MVP is. It's pretty exciting for sure. I don't know. Everyone's different. I'm concerned that he's not going to resign here, and that's still going to be a big story. Oh, me drinking lemonade while you have that. Yes. Just don't start thinking about a song about alcohol, though. That's for sure. You flew down the hill. At first, I thought did you fall? Did you roll? Did you fly? Did you slide? What happened here? Yeah, it'd be fascinating to see if there's more offer sheets, given how well St. Louis did with Broberg and Holloway. Is it Holloway? Yeah. My bad, exactly. Confidence pool, so tight, feels like a playoff game. Exactly. Me too, Michael. I have one team that's still, you could see, it's in GLCPC, so it's in 4th place or 3rd place right now. But my other team is like near the bottom because that one I had Colorado, Winnipeg, Tampa. That was the one I went with my heart, and it's at the bottom. Do we still trust management to identify the best players to target? Great question. I know I talked about that on one of my streams last week. Is do we still have faith in Canucks management? And we'll end with this. Okay, 2 things. No, landed on my face, but I used my right hand to catch myself, and I can't believe I didn't drop my ice cream. That is great hand-eye. Thoughts on Stephanie Vaquer being called up to Raw? Yeah, she's good. Both her and Julia. I like Julia because I'm partially Japanese, but both very, very talented. And we'll save the Money in the Bank predictions till later in the week. Okay, just for Swervin Yrvin, and I even have a banner for this because I used to do this. 5 minutes, no more Canucks or hockey-related questions. So I even have a banner for it for the last 5 minutes, just because Swervin Yrvin asked. And I'll end with this, though, before we get to that. Do you think Alvin's core are the ones in Abbey? I think they are. Or you yeah. Alvin's core. Yeah, tough to say because I don't know if there are enough difference makers at forward in Abbotsford right now, but I hear what you're saying. Okay, 5 minutes of Ask Me Anything. Non-Canucks, non-hockey related questions. Here we go. Thoughts on Roxanne in Judgment Day? I think it's fun. I think it'll give her a prominent place on the show. Very first one, Swervin Yrvin. I've seen every single one. Not all of them live, but I was there when it was Hogan and Orndorff and Mr. T and Roddy Piper. All those guys. How excited am I to share my news on a scale of 1 to 10? 10. Absolutely 10. What was my favorite moment of May? Probably what happened over the weekend. Blockbusters or Rogers? I was a Rogers video. Thoughts on Mariah May potentially signing? I think she'll be awesome. I think she is awesome. Hey, Patricia, what summer blockbuster movie are you looking forward to the most? I do not watch movies in the theater. I wait till they show up on Netflix or on my box, my special Filipino box. I know, Patricia, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't have an answer for you here. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what movies are coming out. Give me 3 to choose from, and I'll choose one for you. Did I ever stick trading cards in the spokes of my bike? No, but I did put tennis balls there. Will you do a mukbang in the summer? Only with you, Jessica. You can be muck and I can be bang. That did not sound right at all. Would this channel have been called Vancouver Sports Clay if the Grizzlies were still in Vancouver? I was a big Grizzlies fan. I had jam packs, not season tickets. Clay's Canucks commentary, Vancouver Sports Clay. No, I think I would still niche on the Canucks, but I would either do a different channel or at least do a bit of Grizzly stuff, but I think I would only have time to focus on one. Who would win in a fight, Batman with prep time or John Wick after he learned Batman killed his dog? Good question. I don't watch the John Wick movie, so I have to go with Batman. What am I looking forward to in June? A few things. This Thursday, I'm seeing Illusionist show called Hidden Wonders in New West. On Father's Day, I'm seeing Boyz II Men in concert. Kayla's graduating. Her convocation's on Saturday the 7th. Her actual grad ceremony's on the 28th, and I'm pulling an all-nighter as part of the volunteer crew. And of course, my birthday on June 22nd. All of those things. Funniest catechism memory. Oh, gosh. Funniest catechism memory. I'll have to get back to you on that. Some of the kids... here's one. The grade 3 or grade 2 class, as part of our Christmas program, they were singing Feliz Navidad, but they're saying Feliz Navidad. That's what they're doing. They were saying Feliz Navidad, and every time that line came up, they would do like that's not the best, but it was pretty funny to see like 15 grade 1 kids do that at the same time. Yeah, I like that one. New Superman movie looks good. Good. I'll try. Okay. Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic. Okay. Of those, Superman. Let's go with that. I watched a Jurassic. Was it Jurassic? No, it's Twisters. I didn't remember that. I told you guys that. I watched Twisters in the Philippines, and one of those D-box or whatever, like that shake you around and stuff. I almost threw up. Final Destination, never watched it. Where's Boyz II Men? They're doing Saturday night in Richmond, Sunday night in Coquitlam. So I'm going to go watch the Sunday night in Coquitlam one because it was better seat availability. Check it out, Swervin Yrvin. Father's Day, come join me. I will congratulate Kayla. Thank you. Are we getting a birthday stream this month? Well, the 22nd is a Sunday, so I guess if I stick with my schedule, I will stream on my birthday. PD concerts, haven't checked out the lineup just yet. I'm with you. I hate D-Box. D might as well stand for death or dumb. Dumbbox. Yeah, Dumbbox. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay, friends, I'm going to fleece Navidad my way out of here. So thank you, moderators. Thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Thank you, members. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Line Change, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Swervin Yrvin, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, subscribing. On your way out, like the video, subscribe. You can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Lou, Weight Loss Coach. Thank you to Swervin Yrvin for the donation. And thank you to Canuck Clay for gifting 5 memberships. By the way, thank you for that donation, Swervin Yrvin, because if you didn't do that, it would just be me giving the donation. So it's almost like we got shut out. Not that I do this for the donations, but it is one way to support me. So thank you, Swervin Yrvin, once again. And thanks to all of you for watching tonight. So, Michael, we're going to talk about this on Tuesday night. My shows this week, Canucks After Dark tomorrow. And then I'll go CCC Tuesday night and Wednesday night. You guys are awesome. I'm awesome. We are all awesome. Don't forget to rate the bad joke out of 10. And I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for Canucks After Dark. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. Oh, wait, by the way, I should add to my sign off. Congratulations to Swervin Yrvin, who finishes atop tonight's leaderboard with 275 points. And then Fangirl and Taylor with 150 points. And then Line Change and Coach Rob with 125. Again, I have no clue what it means, but just feels like it feels like something cool to talk about. All right, here we go. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. By the way, do you know why it's so cheap to throw a party at a haunted house? Yes, why is it so cheap to throw a party at a haunted house? Because the ghosts, they bring all the booze. Booze. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.